श्रीभगवानुवाच कामैष क्रोधैष रजोगुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्धयेनमिह वैरिणम्.
It is the desire, anger, born of Rajoguna. Know them to be insatiable, extremely sinful, and the greatest enemy in this world.
Sri Krishna identifies lust for worldly enjoyment as the cause of sin, as the malignant allure sitting within us. The Rajoguna deludes the soul into believing that worldly objects will give satisfaction, and so one creates desires to acquire them. When desire is satisfied, it gives birth to greed. When it is not satisfied, it gives rise to anger. One commits sins under the influence of all three: lust, greed, and anger. Greed is nothing but intensified desire, while anger is frustrated desire. Hence, Sri Krishna labels lust, or desire, as the root of all evil.
Desire and anger are synonymous with likes and dislikes. The jiva is agonized by desire and anger only. As per the story of the Bhagavad, the crocodile catches the elephant king. Likewise, lust and anger catch hold of jivas, bind them to a body, and thereby obstruct them from attaining self-knowledge and liberation. Though we are the Supreme Self, only desire and anger prevent us from experiencing the peace and bliss related to it.
Desire and anger arise due to high rajasic quality. A person with sattvic quality thinks coolly. He will gain the wisdom required to be released from lust and anger. As the snakes reside in anthills, even desire and anger reside in our minds. Our senses attract the mind towards sensory objects and thereby extrovert the mind. Extroversion of the mind is very easy, but it is challenging to introvert the mind. Without divine grace, the mind cannot introvert.
You initiate a work with a desire to complete it. It is good, as the completion of work is essential. Even the means to perform it is equally significant. Before purchasing anything in the market, you check for the quality of the product. Similarly, observe whether the means to perform your tasks include moral values. Observe whether you have abandoned them and only desire to complete your task by hook or crook. If the means to accomplish the task is perfect, you will attain concentration, which reforms your mind and intellect. A reformed mind will achieve prosperity. If your mind is polluted, it will lead to your complete ruin. Whether reformed or ruined, it is only due to your mind. You are not making any effort to reform the mind. The body's death is fast approaching, but you are still wasting your time. If the money is lost, you can earn it back, but it is not so in the case of time.
Kama implies desire. It is the Mahashani, the great Saturn planet. As you keep fulfilling the desire, it will increase but not reduce. None can fill that pit called desire. Though you may earn thousands of crores of rupees and give it to your children, they will not be satisfied. If they have any bad habits, they will spend away all that money and won't even care to accompany you to the burial ground when you are dead. Such is the nature of humans. If you gift your hard-earned money to your children, they will spend it off. Hence, don't expect them to show you gratitude. None in this creation kept fulfilling his desires and simultaneously transcended them. As the fire increases when you continue pouring kerosene into it, even your desires will grow when you keep fulfilling them. If you fulfill a desire, that fulfilled desire begets 10 more desires. Therefore, there is no end to these desires. God named the desires Mahashani, the great Saturn planet. There is no end if you keep on fulfilling your desires and anger. Finally, you will inevitably get rebirth. Thus, don't depend on others for your food and clothes. Earn sufficient enough to fulfill your basic needs. Refrain from getting into the affair of hoarding thousands of crores. If you do so, others may praise you, but you will get ruined in the source, indicating Mahashani, the great Saturn planet.
Make an effort to reduce the force of your desire and anger. If you desire to watch a film but control yourself by utilizing your subtle intellect and wisdom, you will experience greater peace the next day by not watching the movie than by watching it. If you get any desire, you will get more happiness, peace, and bliss in controlling the desire than in fulfilling it.
You cannot conquer the desires by fighting against them. When the yearning to attain God and the yearning to get released from ignorance and bondage increases within you, all your petty desires will reduce even without your knowledge. Your biggest desire to attain God reduces all your petty desires. You may think of watching a film, but if the doctor says you have a heart problem and urgently need to visit a hospital, not a cinema theater, won't you instantly forget about watching the film? You will immediately go to a hospital to get your heart disease cured. Similarly, if you possess an intense desire to attain God or liberation, all your petty desires will disappear automatically. You need not fight against them. The love you possess for sensory objects, if you have the same for the indwelling Narayana, will introvert your mind. God bestows you with self-knowledge if your faith is unwavering, resembling a lamp in an airless place. Only then will you come to know what freedom means. The Lord said, "Attempt to attain me at least at the time of your death."
Jesus said, "Can you attain me without rejecting yourself? By identifying yourselves with the body and mind, are you not presuming the non-self as the self? You are considering the assets, wealth, honor, and authority as your own. But they are as true as considering yourselves to be a body. Additionally, possessing them gives you the impression that there is something special within you. All these represent a fort made of playing cards. They seem true as long as you don't make self-enquiry. Once you make the self-enquiry, all your relations with the non-self vanish. You do not need a spade to destroy the fort made of playing cards. Such a fort will fall if there is a strong wind. The ego feels, I have so many relatives, I have so much money in the bank, I have so many farmlands, and thus keeps contemplating them. Hence, all these represent the guardians of the ego. You cannot realize the self without giving up your tendencies. You cannot sail in two boats at the same time. Therefore, if you want self-knowledge, you should give up ignorance.
What exists as one and only one, and it is Brahman. Brahman alone is visible as God. Brahman alone is visible as Jiva, and Brahman alone is visible as the world. Whichever is visible is not true. Bhagavan Ramana said that the world, Jiva, and God are the illusions of the mind. Someone asked Bhagavan, when the world and the Jivas are so clearly visible, how can they be called non-existent? Bhagavan replied, the truth seems false, and the false seems true due to Maya. Maya is within your senses, mind, and intellect. If you vomit out that Maya, you can view that which exists, Narayana or self, as existent and that which does not exist, the world, as non-existent. In Gita, God has narrated that Maya clears the path only to the one who possesses complete and lively faith in me. However, the one who does not have faith in me cannot transcend my Maya merely by his intelligence, even if he makes an effort. He cannot transcend my Maya without my grace.
All of you are wise but cannot stop yourselves from incurring sins. The reason is that this desire and anger inspire you to incur sin. When inflicted with desire or anger, you cannot remain steady but will undoubtedly incur sin. Though the Lord has detailed this, you are not getting wisdom. Why? It is because you lack the strength of meritorious deeds. You don't have a good thought, a good word, or a good deed. Then how will Maya clear your path?
You may consider someone or the other your enemy. But the Lord said, if you have any enemy, there is only one enemy, which is none other than your desire. It is this desire alone that agonizes you throughout your life. You must only fight against this desire if you have a fighting spirit.
Sometimes, the desire within you gets suppressed. You may feel that you have transcended the desire. You may suppress your desire by adoring God and through holy company, but the desire does not die. It returns at some point of time. Therefore, never have the false notion of having conquered the desire. Don't think you have reached the sorrowless state if you are sorrowless now. Your sorrow is suppressed for now. When suppressed, you feel it does not exist. This sorrow may hide in your intellect, mind, or senses. The senses bind the foolish people, whereas the intellect binds the intelligent people. The desire in the intellect is not easily visible. We presume that the intellectuals don't possess desire. But the desire exists even there. The desire, anger, and ignorance do not exist in the Supreme Consciousness alone, which has an independent existence. Therefore, awaken unto that Supreme Consciousness. Till then, you cannot conquer the desire.
श्रीभगवानुवाच काम एष क्रोध एष रजो गुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्येनमिह वैरिणम् श्रीभगवानुवाच काम एष क्रोध एष रजो गुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्येनमिह वैरिणम्
श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावहः.
Performing one's natural prescribed duty tinged with faults is far better than performing another's prescribed duty perfectly. Even death in performing one's natural prescribed duty is better, for performing the prescribed duty of others is fraught with danger.
After receiving the Nobel Prize, Einstein was offered several honorable positions, such as president and secretary in various universities. But Einstein rejected all of them, saying, "I am born for doing research in science and not for these positions." To work per one's nature is swadharma or naturally prescribed duty. Otherwise, it is paradharma, the prescribed duty of others. If you practice swadharma throughout your life, you will remain peaceful even during death.
श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावहः श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुण परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावहः